Hello and welcome back once again to product placement. So today's item is actually something I saw an advertisement for back when I did the last version of this, but I was never able to find it in the stores. Then, like I said, money got tight. Saw a box for it in the store the other day when I stopped at the gas station, but it was empty. And I went to a different store later on, a couple days later, and finally found it. So I got this one finally after all this time. So today we're going to do it, and I'll let you know my thoughts on it. So today's item, in case you didn't see the title card, in which case why'd you click on the video? I don't know, but I'm glad you did because it's always good to see you. But today's item is Reese's Big Cups with Reese's Puffs inside. In case you don't know what Reese's Puffs are, they are the Reese's cereal. It's basically, if you take the peanut butter flavored Captain Crunch and mix it with Cocoa Puffs, you got the Reese's Puffs cereal. So the last big cup I did from Reese's was the one with potato chips in it or the one with pretzels in it, which the pretzel one was kind of old. I just never got around to doing it. So the potato chip one, there was another one before that. I think it had Reese's Pieces inside of it. I'm trying to remember them all and I can't remember, but shortly after I did the one with the chips or the one with the pretzels, I did see an advertisement for this one. Went looking for it. They didn't have it in any of my local stores. And then, like I said, it took until now before I remembered that they had it, because I saw the box for it the other day when I was picking up the other stuff. And I reached in to grab one, and it was the one with the chips. And I was like, well, that's not what's advertised on the box. So I looked through the whole box, and it was all potato chips in that one. So I think someone just grabbed an empty box and swapped some stuff into it. And I was like, well, I'll have to keep that in the back of my mind that I need to look for it. And then I stopped at a gas station like 2 days later, and they had it. So I grabbed it, and here we are. So let's rip this open. Now, as I've said in previous videos, I usually shy away from the big cups because I feel like they have too much peanut butter. The regular size Reese's, I think, have the perfect balance of peanut butter and chocolate. And when you try and go above or below on one of them, it never tastes the same. Like the chocolate lovers cup or the peanut butter lovers cup or the ultimate peanut butter lovers cup that I did back towards the start of the year, they just never really tasted right because you're throwing off your peanut butter to chocolate ratio. And when big cups first came out, I was like, cool, they're bigger, I'm gonna like this. And I tasted it and I was just like, it's too much peanut butter. You're throwing off the peanut butter and chocolate ratio. So I usually shy away from big cups, but lately they've been doing these big cups where they put other stuff in them. Adding the other stuff kind of keeps the peanut butter chocolate balance in check. Not as well as it should, but enough to where I can kind of tolerate them. So for these, there's something inside of it, flavors, then yeah, I'm okay with the big cups, but normally I would not be. And look how many wrappers are on this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I should just keep these and I can make muffins in them, right? 5. 5 to get to the actual cup. I wonder if the other one's like that too. I don't know, we'll find out later. All right, so here's our cup. Smells like a Reese's. Let's take a bite and see what we think of adding Cocoa Puffs and peanut butter puffs inside. Cheers. So that almost doesn't add anything to it. I don't know if they shrunk down the puffs to fit them into the cup, because this didn't really seem like it had many in it. Like there's one that I just pulled out, and it's not that big. Like I said, these are normally Cocoa Puff size because they're a cereal, and this is tiny. So it doesn't really have enough additional flavor to offset anything. It basically just adds that crunchy texture into a Reese's cup. Kind of the same way the pretzels or the chips did. There was something else I was just thinking of that had a crunchy texture to it that I cannot think of now. I just had another candy in my head that I was going to compare it to, but it just went away when I was mentioning the other Reese's cups. I'm trying to remember it, but I'm just drawing a blank. So yeah, it adds a little bit of a texture crunch to it, but overall not really enough to really stand out against the Reese's peanut butter cup. I like it better than the chips and pretzels. Do I like it better than the Reese's Pieces? I'd say it's probably on par. Actually, I think I get a little bit more out of the Reese's Pieces than I do this. Oh, I remember the other thing I was going to compare it to was crispy M&Ms, where it just kind of has that little like Rice Krispie flavor inside of the chocolate shell. But yeah, overall, it doesn't really add anything new to the flavor. It's just like a textured crunch, which you can get from any of the others. Except this doesn't really change the flavor of the Reese's cup, which I think I kind of like better than the chip or the pretzel ones. When I did the chip video, I bit into it and I said, well, there's not really enough chip in here. It's all crushed up, so you only get a little bit of the saltiness of the chip. So it's not really enough to offset the flavor. Of course, when I went to take a bite of the second one that was in that package, there was a huge piece of potato chip like through the whole thing. So it's like when I bit into it, I got the whole piece of chip out. I don't remember if that made it into the video or not. But if it did, then you probably would have saw that they were like really horrible generic brand potato chips. That might have made it into the video now that I think about it, because I kind of remember saying that it tastes like a generic off-brand like Ruffles or Lay's or something like that. But yeah, overall, doesn't add anything to the flavor, but it does add that crunchy texture, like I said, with the crispy M&Ms or something like that. It doesn't change the flavor that much. Do I like it better than the regular peanut butter cup, the big cups? Regular peanut butter cup, no. The other big cups, yes, because it does offset the flavor a little bit. I can tolerate these. It's not like, oh, there's too much peanut butter. But like I said, it doesn't add a lot of flavor like the chips or the pretzels do. I would probably prefer the Reese's Pieces one slightly over this, just because you get that candy crunch versus just like a crispy crunch. So there's just something about that, like that little candiness of it, I kind of like better than just a crispy, like a Rice Krispie type of puff thing, or a corn puff, whatever you want to call them. I kind of wish they were slightly bigger. I mean, when you look at the package here, it looks like a spoonful of the actual cereal, and inside you see these big balls. And you saw the one I pulled out was like a pebble compared to what you would normally get out of a cereal box. So they could be slightly bigger, but then again, you are offsetting the size of the peanut butter cup. This one only has one wrapper on it. But yeah, it's a novelty item. Try it if you like crispy texture in your Reese's peanut butter cups, but don't like all the extra added flavors. It's okay balance. Other than that, not really much else to say about it. So again, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Links are in the description. Ring the bell wherever it is. Make sure you get notifications every time I post new content. And until next time, cheers.